He did ask in the live stream Sunday night after the race, Seth, if you would have not had stomach issues, what time do you think you would have been able to run in New York? Feels like yesterday, True Love and I were doing this.
I wish I could shake everyone's hand, and I wish I could shake the hand of the 100. Oh, there it is! There it is! We did it! Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you! Oh, we did it! 100,000! Oh,
amazing! By the time you're watching this, I think we will have passed 150,000 subscribers. That clip with True Love was from when we celebrated 100,000 subscribers. It feels like yesterday, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you for giving us a chance. Our crazy antics here on YouTube. Do appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. Unbelievable. Now, it's like a year later, it's blowing my mind. So much so, it's like New York City. Meeting all of you in Central Park, and that's what we're talking about today. Actually, it's great. I didn't think we would be doing this today. Things got moved around a little bit. Remember yesterday, we broke down the race, all right? New York City Marathon 2021, what actually happened out there on the course. Today, we are breaking down the entire training block, giving you all my thoughts on what worked, what did not work, what I would change in the future, lessons learned, so many good things. But I will say, shout out to Training Block Chat. You guys know where this is at, okay? If you care to go deeper here on this YouTube channel, you want to dive deeper into your training, you might need a little motivation, a little accountability, a little more inspiration to seek out your goals as a runner, I would encourage you to think about, don't do it, think about becoming a member of the channel, okay? It does cost. You guys all know, most of you already know that, but we do have on Discord a Training Block Chat feature where it's a channel dedicated to exactly what we're doing today so we can learn from our training blocks and break down what worked and what did not work, which is what I'm about to do over there at my computer here in a second for all of the members of the channel, okay? Over again on Discord to join up. Here it is on your screen. Just click join. All right, it's very easy to do, and but it's more importantly, it's the depth of friendship that we are creating on Discord. All right, just wanted to mention that before we dive in case you do, and because a lot of people are like, man, I love what's going on, but I want to, I want more in 2022 as we get closer to the new year. Okay, New York City Marathon, let's break it down. We're gonna do a lot of throwback clips to the beginning of the training block when I started talking about getting ready, including the first run of the training block. Shout out to Stephen Bacon. Oh, baby, look who I found. Stephen Bacon. With a name like that, we gotta get him in the vlog.
Butter the bread.
That was fun. Good day up on the mountains. It's okay, we're gonna get into it, but it's like this kind of, it's hard as a mountain and road runner to make that transition from the Pikes Peak Marathon training block, doing well there in Pikes Peak, and then okay, now we got to get ready for New York City. So at 2 minutes in this vlog, I say, don't do this. Don't do this. So I did the Pikes Peak Marathon about a month ago, it feels like, about a little less than a month ago. I'm more of a mountain runner than a road marathon runner. Therefore, I put precedence for mountain running races. That's what I plan to do in 2022, but we shall see how the schedule pans out, as we talked about a couple days ago here on the vlog. And therefore, the Pikes Peak Marathon overtook the New York City Marathon training block in 2021, just so you are aware. My rule of thumb is for road marathon training, your block should be 12 weeks at the minimum, and then preferably around 16 weeks, okay, which I'll dive into in a second. This is not what you do. This is what you do, all right? If you want to go a little deeper, click on that vlog, upper right-hand corner, but this is better. This is not perfect, but better. I advise, I don't even know if I put it in the clip, 16 weeks is ideal, 12 weeks at the minimum. This last training block for New York City, was 9 weeks. Now, I was coming off a huge aerobic base from the summer training, getting ready for Pikes Peak, but this is not your ideal situation, okay? Now, I keep holding up this graph, and if you're new to the channel, in case you're wondering what's going on here, be patient with my artwork, is that up here, we're talking about 140 miles a week. So that was my peak volume for the New York City Marathon. Yes, everybody, if you go on Strava, let's connect. I actually extended it to 5 weeks, not 4, all right? So I did make a pivot at this week 5 in the training block. So I did not do, if you follow me closely on Strava, you know that I do the roller coaster training starting usually about 40, sometimes 60 miles a week, and then going up and up and up. I cut that out because I didn't have the time. And lesson, okay, let's dive in. Volume, 140, and we'll mention this at the end as well. Some runners, I'll just say, the Japanese, they train at high volume. And I think even more so, let's say 20 years ago, I don't know if they're reeling it in a little bit, but the Japanese runners, who are some of the best marathon runners in the world and half marathon, the depth of runners in Japan, as far as speed and fast, is, I don't know if it's matched anywhere in the world, frankly. I think they are amazing, but are they winning the big marathons? Okay, every now and then you'll see a Japanese man or woman win a big city marathon, New York, Boston, Chicago, but it's not very often. So I'm just saying, I think that high volume is good, and just so you know, I love it. That's part of the reason why I love to run. So I like high volume, okay? So it's fun. This is not hard for me. It's fun for me. It's hard for me to run 70, 80 miles a week. I would prefer to run more, okay? But I'm the mad scientist, all right? I think I even have a clip of me talking about the mad scientist. Again, don't do this. I'm a mad scientist taking calculated risks, and you don't do this, okay? So traditionally, I would do the roller coaster up. Part of the process here on this YouTube channel is let me test the waters for you, all right? As I just said, let me tinker and tweak and figure, and that was the lesson from 2 or 3, 4 days ago when my stomach issues, that was a big lesson. Whatever happened there, I'm still trying to figure it out a little bit, but same with volume. I do believe in the next training block for the next marathon, more on that very, very soon, is that I might go to 140, but I definitely will not hold it for this long. And if I do hit 140, I think it would be for 1 or 2 weeks in a real training block where it's actually 16 weeks, not 9. But I might stop at 125 or 130, maybe even 120. I don't know. I guess you gotta figure that out. But again, the Japanese, they can do 160, 170. I've heard 180 even. And are they winning these marathons? They're doing well. They have depth. But are they winning these So I'm leaning again. So that's anyway. I just wanted to mention that. I love running. But I do know that I need to rein it in a little bit. Okay? So mad scientist, learning. I definitely won't do this again. I'll just commit to you right now. 140s, back to back to back to back. And I was getting some vertical as well, as most of you do know. So let's get a little more specific, a little more just down. Let's just do this. Lessons from the New York City Marathon training block. There was a lot of them. Now, unfortunately, okay, this is a key point. I didn't get to see whether or not fully what I did worked because of my stomach issues, all right? And the fact but it was fascinating to test, and just to see what do you think my fit, and actually somebody did ask in the live stream Sunday night after the race, Seth, if you would have not had stomach issues, what time do you think you would have been able to run in New York? I believe, so my B goal was to break 220, okay? I think I would have ran 220.50 is what my gut told me. I don't know if I would have actually broken 220, but I think I would have been definitely a PR, 2 or 2.5 minute PR, but I don't know if I actually would have broken 220. So that's what my gut, that's kind of how I felt those first 10 miles, is about a 220.50-ish, all right? Lessons. Okay. Number 1, This is the number one lesson. Most important lesson. Tune-up race 4 or 5, maybe even 6 weeks before the peak race. I was too kind of tired the last 3 weeks of the training block after Detroit. Remember I went to Detroit, did the tune-up race, was amazing. It was amazing, but it kind of set me back for a good 8 days where I didn't feel fresh enough to go snappy and turn over those last 3 weeks. There it is. I will not do a tune-up race, I'll say ever again before a marathon 3 weeks out. This is, again, I didn't know, I have to test these things. So I would bump it to 4 and maybe even 5. All right, I think that's going to be the sweet spot, 4 or 5. Probably not 6. I think that's too far out. So that's lesson number 1. Pretty exciting to have learned that in this block, as I just talked about. The volume, hang out in that 120 to 130 range and probably closer to the 120 range, okay? And when I say hang out, that's probably, I'm gonna go with like 3 weeks, definitely not 4 or 5 weeks for my peak volume. All right, there you go. That's lesson number 2. Lesson number 3, of course, is 16 weeks. Let's actually do 16 weeks, let's just do it. And the next marathon, I will, okay? I will do 16 weeks. And that's very, very exciting. None of this 9 or 10 week business, not even 12 week, all right? Just stick to it so you can do the full roller coaster. I know this 100% more, so this is lesson number 4, goal race pace training. More goal race pace training, which in an ideal world for me is really around 5:15 a mile, not even 5:19, because I need to, if I want to qualify for the Olympic trials at some point, I really need to hone in on 5:15 a mile for 26 miles, not 5:19 a mile or 5:20 a mile. That won't cut it. And we don't know what the qualifying standard is yet. Actually, this is not the question of the day. I beg you, does anybody know when USA Track and Field is going to announce this standard? Because it actually will impact mine and probably other people's racing schedules in 2022. USA Track and Field, where are we at? Could you help us out? Help us runners out. Let us know. Let me know in the comments. Even hit me up on Twitter or maybe even email me if you have any insider information on that. Last but not least, number 5 is I want to work on my VO2 max training. I have some ideas on how to do that. Some unique training that I've actually never really done before. Maybe a little bit, I'm going to say maybe back in high school when I was training for the 800 meter and 1 mile, which might give you a little insight as to what type of training it is. But I want to work on, and so there's different type, and I'm not going to get into it now, but types of training, workouts that you can do that specifically hones in on your VO2 max. So that's lesson number 5. I want to really instill that. So that's good. So those are my 5 lessons from New York City for the entire training block. I thought my workouts were good on the track, the 1K repeats, the 800 meter repeats, even the 400 meter repeats that I did. I think that was all good, but I think I can drill down a little bit more for some more specific goal race pace training and then also VO2 max training. All right. So, overall, it was a unique, I'll almost call it strange training block. It is a little unfortunate that I didn't get to see it bear fruit in New York City fully. As I said yesterday's vlog for the breaking down the race, I felt great through 10 miles. The fact that I was pretty close and then I did not feel good from mile 10 to 13, and I still was almost on pace to break 220. Here it is on your screen again for the splits. And here, if you didn't see yesterday's vlog, 2019 splits versus 2021 splits. It's just encouraging. It's just very encouraging. I don't know. I'm very excited. I know it didn't play out like we had hoped, but I think overall it's a good step in the right direction from 2019. Okay, found a comment of the day. It took me a second because it's getting harder and harder because you all are up in your game. I can tell in the comments, just really putting a lot of thought-provoking ideas down in the comment. It's just blowing me away. So Martin Hagman, you get the comment of the day, says, hi buddy, great vlog. And it connects to training blocks. Hi buddy, great vlog. Here's an idea though, because you had an upset stomach, you have all the fitness still. As you were cruising the second half of the New York City Marathon, why don't you try and find a marathon nearby within the next 2 weeks? I'm sure you can carry all this fitness over. So, and he goes on with a couple other thoughts, but I appreciate that sentiment, Martin, right, Martin? But for me, it's not how I train and it's not how I race. And more importantly, it's not how I approach family life. I told the family for the last, 2 months, like, November is going to be our downtime where we rest, we recuperate. It's been a big year. Training, moving the family, and those are the 2 big things. And so it's just like Martin, it's not a bad idea. CIM is in December. I could probably go to CIM and rock and roll. But I know, like, mentally, I need a break. Physically, I need a break for sure. And it's that balance of being a runner and a husband and a father. But life is part of running. Running is part of life. Like, they're integrated. So, Martin, that's the only reason I wouldn't just go jump. And it gets me. And you know what else, Martin? A little mental trick. Hunger for 2022. All right, patience. It's just gonna make me a little hungrier moving forward. Question of the day: how was your last training block? Okay, the last one you completed. All right. Oh man, there's so many thoughts about training blocks. So, like, how did it go for you? What went well? What did not go well for your last training block? Not your last race. Your last training block. All right, there we go. All right, we'll toss it to this vlog. I think it's actually where I actually made this poster. A lot of good, more information in there if you want to go a little deeper. Click right there, right there, right there. Whoo! Seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.